quitting is about to make someone richer than you. Not a typo, not a trick question. Someone who put in less money, worked fewer years, and stopped completely before you even started is going to end up ahead of you. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why doing everything right still wasn't enough. You're 30. Priya, across the table at a coffee shop that's about to close, mentioned she's been investing since 22. You do the maths without meaning to. 8 years behind already. You feel for half a second like you've lost a race nobody told you had started. So you start that week. $300 a month, automatic, the responsible move, exactly what every article ever told you to do. You feel proud in a way that's hard to explain unless you're standing exactly where you're standing. Here's what you don't know yet. In 2 years, at 32, Priya stops, not slows down, stops completely. Mortgage, a wedding, a business that eats her spare cash for years. She never adds another pound to that account for the rest of her working life. You, meanwhile, do everything right for 2 straight decades. $300 a month at 30, at 35, at 40, at 45. Raises come, some goes in too. By 50, you'll have put in more than double what Priya ever did, for 2.5 times as long. Never one missed month. Age 32, Priya's account goes silent. She barely checks it. It starts to feel like it belongs to someone she used to be. At a birthday dinner, someone asks about her investments, half joking. She laughs, says she basically forgot the account exists. You feel, quietly, superior. You check yours most weeks. It's part of who you think you are now. Age 40, 10 years in, your contributions alone already beat everything Priya put in across her entire 8 years. You mention it to her, half wanting her to feel it. She just shrugs. You don't understand yet that her not thinking about it is the exact reason it's been growing in ways you can't see. Age 45, you run the numbers for retirement, purely out of curiosity, solid, respectable. You feel, honestly, like the responsible one has finally been proven right. You have no idea how wrong you're about to be. Subscribe if you've ever assumed the person working harder for longer has to win, because the actual numbers are about to break that assumption completely, and you're going to want to see exactly where. You're about to watch someone beat you while trying less than half as hard as you did. Not almost beat you. Beat you. And once you see the number, you're going to want to go back and rewatch the last 20 years knowing exactly what you were racing against. Age 50. Same dinner table. Both of you finally saying the numbers out loud instead of dancing around them for 2 decades. You go first, a little proud. $187,000. 20 years, never missed a month. More than double what she ever put in. Priya says hers quietly, almost apologetic. $214,000. You ask her to repeat it. Same number. You run the maths in your head 3 times the way you did that very first night in the coffee shop, except this time it refuses to change. She contributed for 8 years. You contributed for 20. She stopped touching that account the year you started yours. And somehow, doing nothing for 18 straight years, she beats you. Here's what actually happened while nobody was watching. Priya's money had 28 years to grow, start to finish. Every pound she put in between 22 and 32 kept compounding untouched for 2 decades after she stopped. Your money never got that kind of time. The pound you put in at 49 has had 1 year to grow. The pound you put in at 30 has had 20. Most of your money arrived far too late to catch up to money that had been growing since you were still deciding what to have for lunch at 24. Then, almost without meaning to, you ask her the one question you're going to regret asking. What would your number actually be if you'd started at 22 like she did, and just kept going the exact same way you actually did, for 20 straight years after that? She does the maths right there on her phone, in front of you, and turns the screen around. $312,000. Not close, not a small edge. £100,000 beyond what you actually have, sitting there on a screen, existing only as a version of you that made one different decision at 22 and nothing else. 8 years. That's the entire gap between the man across this table with $187,000 and a man who never existed with $312,000, and neither of them worked a single day harder than the other. You didn't lose because you did anything wrong. You lost because you were running a 20-year sprint against a 28-year head start, and no amount of extra effort inside that sprint was ever closing a gap that wide. She says something that stays with you all night. She never felt responsible. She just started early and forgot to interfere. You did everything the articles told you to do. You just started the race 8 years after the whistle had already blown, and by the time you noticed, that was the only thing that ever mattered. If you've ever told yourself you'd catch up later once you were earning more, This is the part where you find out exactly what later actually cost you. Effort was never the variable. Time was, and time doesn't care how responsible you feel while you're spending it. Forget who won. That question's dead now. Here's the one that actually matters. What do you do with the 8 years you've got left to hand someone else before they waste them the exact same way you did? Your niece turns 22 that month. Fresh out of university, first real paycheck, no idea what any of this means yet. The exact age Priya was in the story you've carried around for 20 years and never once told anyone. You take her for coffee, not a lecture, just the $27,000 gap, the dinner table, your proud number, and Priya's apologetic one. She goes quiet the way you did at 30, doing the maths without meaning to. She asks how much she'd need to put away. You tell her the answer that would have changed everything if someone had said it to you at 22 instead of 30. Not much. £50, £100 if she can manage it. The amount barely matters. The 8 years are the entire story. She laughs, says £50 barely covers her weekend. Feels silly setting something up for a number that small. You tell her that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Small enough to ignore for a decade. That's precisely how Priya ended up 8 years ahead of you without ever trying. Then she asks the question that actually stops you mid-sentence. Should she just do what Priya did then? Start now, stop in 8 years, let it sit. You almost laugh. And then you don't, because you realise you've never actually said the real answer out loud, not even to yourself. No, stopping was never the lesson. Starting early was. Priya won by accident with half the equation. You lost with the other half. Your niece is sitting there right now holding both halves at once, and if she never stops, not at 30, not at 40, not once, the woman she becomes at 50 doesn't just beat Priya's number or your number. She makes both of them look like a warning label nobody read in time. She sets up the transfer before she finishes her coffee. The same decision you made at 30, except she's making it 8 years earlier, holding a piece of information neither you nor Priya ever had at the same time. You don't say this part out loud because she wouldn't get it yet. You weren't slow. You weren't careless. You did everything right, exactly on schedule. You just didn't know the schedule itself was the whole game, and nobody hands you that rulebook until you're 20 years into playing without it. Priya calls weeks later. Her daughter just turned 19, first Saturday job. Neither of you has to say what happens next. You end up back at that same coffee shop, across from two teenagers, finishing each other's sentences the way people do when they learn the exact same lesson, the exact same expensive way. Somewhere right now, someone's 22, sitting in a coffee shop, deciding if £50 a month is even worth the effort. They have no idea they're sitting inside the only part of this story that was ever going to matter. Everything after this is just 20 years of finding out. The only difference between them and you is that they don't know yet what you already do. You've got the same 8 years sitting in front of you right now. What you do with them is the one ending in this story that hasn't been written yet.